Todd Flesner.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you again.
Oh, and Happy New Year, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, 2019 as we sit here.
It's here.
Yes.
So we are on Comcast, Robert.
Okay.
Channel 26, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Sorry, and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Those are our show dates.
Yeah, so we're glad you've tuned in with us again. And we've got a guest for you today. Talk a little bit about education and what happens here in Milpitas. And we thought a great person to have on with that is a true supporter of our educational system here, Robert Jung. So, Robert,
Well, thank you, Todd. Thank you,
Robert,
Debbie.
and a fellow Rotarian.
And a fellow Rotarian. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, good.
So thank you very much. A Happy New Year to everyone.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us. We'd like to start out just to give our audience a little bit of an idea about your background. So
Sure.
tell us a little bit about where you grew up,
Yeah.
where you went to school.
Sure.
And,
Believe it or not, I'm actually a Chicagoan. I was born and raised in Chicago. I went to Chicago schools, Chicago public schools. I went to the University of Illinois. I graduated from there, and I came out here in the Bay Area in 1987.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's been a little bit.
okay. All right. So you're like many of us. You're a transplant to the area, but
we,
you've been here for a long time. And,
Yes.
I'm not.
and-
I'm a native.
All right, there you go.
Well,
So what is it that you like about the Bay Area that keeps you here?
Well, for me, I grew up in a science and engineering background. So guess what? I'm by training.
You're in the high tech.
I'm into high tech. I'm an engineer by training. I actually spent 18 years in high tech, and actually left high tech and actually moved into investments about a little over 10, 12 years ago. So
Okay.
I've actually am now involved in investments.
okay.
So,
Perfect.
Terrific. But what we want to talk to you specifically about while we're here today is about the Milpitas Community Education
Endowment.
Okay,
Yes.
MCEE. Okay.
Yes,
I got
that's
it
awesome.
right.
You got it right. I know it's a tough name. It's a long name, but each of the reason we have it there is each of the words in our name means something to us.
Okay.
Because Milpitas, certainly that's who we serve, our kids and families in Milpitas. Community, the reason that is important to us is because it's really what we want to do is we want the community to really own this eventually, right? Educational, certainly that's all what we do. We are providing a lot of educational opportunities for our kids. And the last word, endowment, which is a little harder for some folks, but the intent of the word endowment is really to talk about the fact that we're here for the long run. We're not here for a short term. It is a long-running mechanism that we'll talk about and what
So
I trying to do.
You've actually answered my question. I was going to ask how it got its beginnings.
Right.
And that sounds like, what is your role with the MCEE?
My role is I actually am the founder, and currently I'm the president of the board. We started back in 2009. I don't know if folks remember the great, let's see, I think it's called recession of 2008.
I do. I remember it quite well.
And what had happened at our schools in that time frame was, we had a lot of financial difficulties. We had to cut back a lot of programs, and the superintendent at that time was looking for ways for the community to really help us sort of get through that period. PTAs and PTOs were awesome, but they were really focused at each of the school sites. And what we wanted to do was take a look at how could we help at a district level, and that's how we actually came about. And we ended up with a deal with the superintendent. It was a 10-year deal. We would kind of try to raise about $100,000 over 10 years. Given where we were starting, it was going to be a tough time because in 2008 and people recovering in 2009, it was really tough to really go ask people for money at that time. Right?
So you've been around for about 10 years then.
We've been around about 10 years. Actually, in basically the summer of 2019, it will be our 10th year.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Any plans as you look forward to that 10-year anniversary?
Absolutely. So one of our big things in in our first 10 years was, we were very conservative in the sense that, I was a dad, I was also a PTA parent, I was also actually a PTA president at that time. Mm-hmm. And we put together a small team, and all of us had, this was going to be our third or fourth job. So we were conservative in trying to really look at how can we raise money really as a third or fourth job. Mm-hmm. So we were conservative by saying, look, we think we can pull off about 10,000 on average over 10 years. We'll raise 100,000, mm-hmm. and we did it in such a manner so that we didn't give money back in those first 10 years, mm-hmm. but we wanted to get to a point of really putting that into endowment, which will become a very self-generating mechanism. Many colleges use that today.
So you mentioned you had initially worked with the school district.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So how do you continue to interact with Milpitas Unified School District?
So for those people who know me, I'm a huge volunteer mm-hmm. at all of our schools. I would think almost every one of our schools, and actually a retired school board member. So yeah. I grew up in PTAs. This is actually my 16th year in PTAs. And from PTAs, I went through the district committees, and then I ended up being a school board member for a couple years. Mm-hmm. And now I'm actually back to really running this, because this is, as you'll see on our website and stuff like that, you'll see all the different programs that we run, and those are the things that we hear from our
and that's parents. Really, that leads perfectly into our next question. Mm-hmm. You spent the last 10 years raising this stash of
sure.
cash,
mm-hmm.
right?
Right,
to be able to put into
to
programs. What are the programs that you're supporting? What
right. Some of our biggest programs that we're known for is we've initially started with our STEAM showcase. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. And what we do is we actually invite our kids, kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, to come and show off what some of the projects that they have done within the school year. And it's a non-competitive environment. Everyone gets a T-shirt, a medallion, a certificate, but they get to really show off to parents and the community what they've learned. Gives them an opportunity to practice their presentation skills. So it's a learning experience in a non-competitive environment. So that's one of the things that we do, and we've served. We run about 6 or 7 different programs, but check our website. We won't have time to go through all of them.
Okay. And then fundraising.
Fundraising, yes.
You and I got a nice photo.
Oh,
of Black
yes.
Tie fundraising. That was a nice event.
Right.
Let's talk about that. That was at the local Ta restaurant.
Correct.
Excellent. And Milpitas High School Theater. You want to mention
that? So what? Baseball. Yeah. So some of the fundraisers we've done, and we've done many fundraisers over the last 9+ years. But our fundraisers are set up to celebrate the community or to bring in the community. And we don't do a lot of fundraisers. We really do, like, one of our capstone fundraisers is our Black Tie event, which is typically held in December. Mm-hmm. We really feature our high school band, our jazz band.
Very nice.
Yeah, jazz band and our choir, and has a nice dinner, and we celebrate some of our achievements at that time. And this year, just to thank everyone, we've actually hit our $100,000 goal.
Awesome.
And that allows us to, as I said, put into endowment. And what that does is it allows us to grant back. Our target is about 5% every year. So every single year, even if we don't raise another penny in fundraising, we will grant back to the Milpitas Unified School District $5,000.
Okay.
So that's the nice thing about having the endowment.
Terrific. So now you're at the point where you've got these grants coming back in.
Right.
What are some of the things that you're targeting with those grants?
What we're going to do with our grants is we're really going to work with our school district to say, hey, what are your top 3 priorities every single year? Okay. Because this is an ongoing mechanism, and we're going to ask them, to give us the top 3, and within our organization, we'll kind of choose one of those, and we'll just give that grant back every September is our target. And we'll
Okay.
start it this year in September 2019.
Okay.
So, Robert, I scrolled your website.
Yes.
I'm the one that developed some of
Yeah.
these questions. And I found, I think, a tab under scholarship program.
Yes,
So-
that's actually
yeah.
another thing that we
Yeah,
do.
is that something you're currently doing, or is that more of a future thing?
Actually, the way we are set up is we actually are three-pronged today. We actually have a section that we focus on scholarships, and the scholarships are either through other third parties that have asked us to distribute scholarships.
Okay.
For example,
Okay.
what we do today is my friend who passed away a couple of years ago, Danny Lau,
Oh, yeah.
he when he passed away, all the community, instead of giving stuff at his funeral, they said we wanted to really establish a scholarship.
in his name.
And what we do is we're actually the administrators of that scholarship, and this every year for the last 2 years, and we
nice.
expect to go another 3 or 4 years. We give out $1,000 for in memorial to Danny. So we do that in parallel to our programs, and then we're adding this third leg, which is our grant back to the district at $5,000 a year.
Okay, awesome. Now, as you look to the future, having a 10-year
Yeah.
run now, what do you see as some of the challenges as you look forward?
Challenges is always really for the community to understand what we do and actually have a better way for them to really give back to our schools. Because our mission in life not only is half of it's only fundraising, but the other half is really to get the community back involved into our public schools.
Maybe awareness.
Awareness, basically a small nonprofit like myself, where it's really focused in Milpitas. Our challenge, and because it's our third job,
Yeah.
we have to sort of juggle many balls to try to get ourselves out there, try to offer our parents, our community, a sense of, we're there for the long run to really get the whole community involved in our schools, because at the end of the day, having our strong schools is what makes a strong community.
Oh, and
right?
we've talked about that on the show
yes, right.
a
Yeah,
lot.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you must get some rewards too. I know you are really a true giver. I got to tell you, and also being a member of the Rotary Club, you're an active participant. You've done a lot of website work.
Yes.
We were just talking about
Yeah.
you the other day. So what are the rewards
You
from
know,
this work here that you do?
At the end of the day, my reward is that, so I grew up in a very modest family. My family of, I had 4 brothers. We were immigrants to, my parents were immigrants, my first generation immigrants. And, at the end of the day, I credit the opportunities, especially in education, that allowed me to get here and be able to do some of the things that I do. So this is my way of giving back. This is my way of saying, hey, if I could do it, someone else can also do it, and all they need is having those opportunities. And I remember, when I was growing up, certain teachers would pull me aside and say, hey, you got to go try this out. And having that ability for someone to come and offer these particular opportunities is actually the thing that might get you going and might find your passion. And at least for me, after a long road in engineering and even in business, I find that this is my passion. So that's what, what
true.
drives
Yeah.
me.
Shows.
Well, yeah, no, what a great way, for you to give back, but not only is this you, this is the community.
Yeah,
You've
right.
involved.
This is a community project. This is not just a straight education project, and
Yeah.
that's why I say,
Yeah.
even though the name is a little hard,
Uh-huh.
that's why it's important for us to really see community as part of it.
Good. As you look down to the road, where do you see the?
So
foundation?
our big goal is, now that we've reached our initial goal, we're actually we've doubled our board, and we're actually going to double the amount that we raise. So we've already at 100,000. We like to double that endowment in the next 5 years to 200,000, so that we're able to give back $10,000
Wow.
a year.
And so real quick, website.
Yes,
and
website.
Contact information.
Contact information and website. So we are at www.mceefoundation.org, and contact information is just email us at info@mceefoundation.org.
Awesome.
Beautiful. And we'll put that up on the screen.
Awesome.
All right, Robert. Hey, thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you. I really
Yes,
appreciate
yes,
it.
this is
Thank
great.
you. Awesome.
We're wonderful.
Right,
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
great.
All right.
I'm sure you welcome the folks getting involved as well in their community.
Oh yes,
and
absolutely. Thank the community for our, all their support these 9+ years to really be patient with us and be in the position to give back.
Terrific.
Terrific.
Awesome.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck, yike. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano. Todd Flesner.
Hello.
We're here. It's almost the end of January. We're a week away, and we want to give you kind of a market wrap-up and look at what the economy's doing for the month of January. How about that?
Right.
It's been a roller coaster ride, though.
Well, it
The
has.
government shutdown and the stock market taking a dive in December, and
Yeah, the last quarter of the year, the stock market was an adventure, particularly for folks in this valley who are involved in tech. The tech stocks really has some difficulty.
so I wonder how that's going to impact the real estate market, might be the question.
It's a good question. Part of what drives real estate and values is kind of the wealth effect, right? If you look at your portfolio and it's growing, you have confidence, you feel like you've got the financial capability to buy a home, make that major investment. If your portfolio is shrinking, it's not uncommon for people to become a little bit more cautious. I don't think it's going to stop people from buying because real estate is still a great investment. It's a great way to diversify as well. But it does give pause, and I think that folks are going to be looking a little bit more at the value of what they're paying for real estate.
Right.
So, if the stock portfolio is shrinking, the elasticity of what they're able to spend or willing to spend, I think, is going to shrink.
Okay, but we've had a plethora of buyers over the last 3 to 5 years, I would say. What a run we've had.
Absolutely.
That if that pool just shrinks a little bit, I don't really feel it's going to impact the home sellers at the end of the day. They may have less offers, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing and we'll talk about the numbers in a second. But overall, the economy's good. If you look at San Jose Mercury News, just on December 29th, they said November home prices inch up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, the numbers are good. The employment numbers that came out last week for the job market in this valley, we're up again, and I think that will press on the demand.
Absolutely.
For the housing.
Yeah, demand is still there. We don't have the supply that we need here locally for the number of folks that we have
Which
that are
translates well for a seller that wants to cash out and then move out of state or maybe to some other cheaper place in California.
Right.
Yeah, they're fine. They can do that.
Well, like I said, I think where we're going to see the difference in the stock market is the elasticity of price, right?
Yep.
Prices are still going to go up.
Okay.
But people may not be as willing to bid over as much as they had been.
That I would agree with. So
Right.
we talked offline about buyers and sellers with the win-win strategy on a seller buy down.
Mm-hmm.
As if we do see prices drop a little bit or
Right.
stabilize and a seller wants to optimize their pricing, how might that program work?
Well, instead of lowering the sales price on the property, a seller could provide an incentive for a buyer where they help to buy down the mortgage rate. So by paying a point or 2 points on that mortgage rate, so that'll 2 points would probably buy you down 0.5% on the mortgage rate.
What might
So-
on a maybe $1 million home? Do you know what that might be in terms of mortgage payment savings to the buyer?
So
A couple $100, $200-300.
yeah, a couple $100 on that. But so from both standpoints, from the seller's standpoint, if they give a concession of say $20,000, a couple points on a $1 million loan to buy down that rate and help the buyers save every month a couple $100 on that, it's really equivalent to reducing the sales price by $50,000 or $60,000.
And we know the home will appraise.
Absolutely.
There's a thing with that. That's an excellent program. That's great.
Right.
And they would do that through your company.
Absolutely.
Oh, excellent. Great. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about interest rates real quick.
Yes.
So where are we at?
well,
4.625, can I guess?
We're
Really?
that's for
Yeah.
for our jumbo financing. That's about where we are. 4.5, 4.625. Rates have been improving in terms
Yes.
of they've been coming down a little bit.
Yes.
And that's a result of a couple of things. One is the correction we saw in the stock market at the last quarter of the year. So that's a piece of that. The government shutdown has some impact on that as well. In terms of that may lead to some slowing the economy. There's not as much consumer spending as a result.
Right.
And so contraction in an economy typically will
Absolutely.
lead to lower interest rates.
Okay.
And as we look out into the future, we're seeing kind of a stable interest rate environment. We'll see a little bit of fluctuation, but there may be actually an opportunity or a point in time in the future where when the economy slows, that we'll see interest rates kind of dip again.
Okay.
So for folks who perhaps are buying a home now, it's a great time because we have a little bit of a dip in interest rates, but we also might have an opportunity in the future to refinance if rates drop again.
On that note, about a buyer having a good opportunity to buy, let me just tell you what's happened with some pricing. Looking at December of 2017, single-family home average price was $1,220,000, and last month it dipped to $982,000.
Really?
Yes, so I knew we had about a couple $100,000 drop, and then median price was $1,130,000, and that's dropped to $945,000. Now the condo market actually went up again. December 2017, $849,000 for an average price, and last month it jumped to $892,000, which is that affordability factor. So we have definitely seen the single family drop. I'm going to make a guess, and I'll give you some open house activity as I do open houses in the next few weeks to a month, that I think we're going to see that rise back up to where it was
Okay.
easily. Yeah.
All right. Well,
That
good.
dip.
Well, I know we had anticipated we might see that, and definitely the numbers
Numbers
are there pointing to that. And so appreciate you bringing those in and
Sure.
keeping us up to date on that,
Sure.
Debbie, and look forward to seeing what happens in the future.
So if folks want to get some information on qualifying and loan data,
Sure. T. Flesner at opusadvisors.com. Great way to get me via email. And if folks want information on the real estate market,
about the show,
About the show.
Giordano DJ at AOL.com.
awesome.
Well, we'll tune into more to come, and hopefully the government shutdown will be over next time we broadcast.
It's been a bit, but yeah, hopefully that there'll be an end in sight.
And in sight, yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching.